Hi, I'm the Moorlander and this is Moorlander EDC. In this video, hey, what the hound with me. In this video, we're looking at the Tasmanian Tiger Mission Pack Mark II. So just a little bit about this and why I have this bag. You know, I like to go out and I like to test things, so I decided to put this to a big test. I've had this pack now for quite a while, so I've been testing it out for daily use, for EDC use, but I wanted to make sure that if I took it out into the moorlands, that it would be a good bag that I could rely on. So I knew I'd got an event coming up which is called the 10 and 10, so 10 peaks, 10 mountain peaks in 10 hours, and this is the bag that I took on it. So just so you're aware, didn't do as well this year. Last year I did it in 9 hours 40, this year I did it in 11 hours 20. Unfortunately, like an absolute noob, completely forgot to fill up all of my water on the second half. So the last 3 or 4 peaks were a real struggle because my energy was just sapped. I was completely dehydrated. It took me a good few hours to be able to recuperate from it. Not the bag's fault, completely my fault, and a bit daft of me. So getting straight into the bag, let's go around the bag as we usually do, see what it's about and go through the features. Okay, so first of all, let's go through some of the information about the bag itself. The bag, this is the second version. The original version, the Mark I, had old-fashioned nylon webbing on the front, whereas this version has laser cut moly webbing. As you completely expect, all of the other different Tasmanian Tiger pouches, like the one we have here, all fit on the front and go in there reasonably easy, but with just enough kind of struggle to make sure that you know that it's not going to come out when you want it to. So they all fit in. You've got on the front, there's five lengths on the front, there's 2 on the side and 2 on that side as well. The pack is a 37 litre pack, so it's on the larger side. Measurements wise, we're looking at 51 centimetres from top to bottom, 34 centimetres from side to side, and 18 centimetres at full capacity when it's full. Which, if you're thinking in old money, that's 21 inches top to bottom, 18 inches from side to side, and roughly 9 inches when it's completely compact. The bag itself is made from 700 D Cordura, so you know that you get that strength, but you also get the lightness that you get because it's in between a 500 and a 1000. It is super tough. I can definitely say that. I've never had anything that's laser cut moly before. I've seen some others where they have extra reinforcements here, but looking at this, yeah, it's a lot better than I was expecting. Not that I was expecting anything bad from Tasmanian Tiger, but having never used or come across the laser cut moly, lots of flies today, so apologies about lots of rubbing. But the bag itself weighs 2.1 kilos, which is roughly 4.8 pounds. So it's on the heavier side. If you're used to a lightweight EDC style bag, then it is going to be a little bit heavier than that. Maybe a kilo or 1.5 kilos more, an extra, I don't know, what's that? That's 2.5 pounds kind of extra. So it's on the heavier side, but really this isn't one of those type of bags because predominantly this is designed for military use. It comes in 6 different colours. This is the Coyote brown version. There is also black, graphite, olive, which is like OD green, khaki, and they also do a multicam version as well. So moving around the outside of the pack, on the front you have a morale patch, which hook and loops where you can put morale patches on there. Officially approved bearded cooperator. And you have 2 zipped sections on the front. So you have a large one at the front that you can stash things in. I generally find this one's a little bit easier to get to, having used it, but there's no lip on this, so any sort of runoff, although this bag is very well proofed as far as water getting in there. Should I say proofed? I don't think it's actually got any sort of coating on there. I've been onto the website and tried to see if I can find that, and it doesn't say that there is. But having used it, there are a lot of these lips that go over the larger sections, so if any water hits that, it just goes off. And I've been out in this in downpours and not had any issue with it. Whereas here, because there isn't that lip, then you might find that stuff gets wet in there, but you know, there's a pocket on the side. So this molle section here, you have some extra holes in the bottom just in case water gets into that. But this whole molle section here, so this pocket goes down to around about there, whereas this pocket on the side is a full length to the top and to the bottom. So you really can, if you use this cleverly, you can put stuff in there at an angle so that it goes up, and then put it down to the bottom, and you can pack that with a lot of stuff. Like, I keep my first aid kit in there just in case for oopsie boo boos. Both of the sides you have 2 compression straps. The compression straps come with elastic loops on there, so that you can add those, so that you can you know, make sure that those flappy bits don't get in the way, which can be very annoying if it's snagging on things. And then you've got 2 rows or 2 columns of molle webbing. I've put my Tasmanian tiger scissor holder on there so that I can, this is something that I need to review what I'm getting to that. The buckles, super strong, have that a really nice kind of positive click when they go into place, and they're absolutely brilliant. At the bottom, and both sides are the same, so you have the same, you've got your little cud or a tag on there, and they're both the same. There's no difference between either sides. There isn't a water bottle stash on the outsides. What you'll find with this, as far as extra compartments apart from these on the sides are just left completely for you to customize as you choose. So Tasmanian Tiger have their own water bottle holder that you can fit up to a litre bottle into, but there are other ones out there, and because it's all molle, you know, it all just fits and it works. On both sides you have 2 grab handles, just in case you need to grab it and throw it around, or if you are in the military and you use it in such a way, if somebody needs to grab you and pull you out of a situation, then that's there. And these things are super tough. So I've checked the stitching with these, and I'm kind of spoiling it because I'll mention the stitching at the top, but when you get into these and you get into the bag, so hopefully you can see this, but so you've got the stitching, and then instead of just being stitched to the actual bag itself, it's then got another piece of 1.5 inch webbing underneath that to make sure that it's super tight. And then on the inside you've even got then extra webbing on the inside. You could hang a hulk off this, and it's not going to come loose. Same at the top here. So you've got a grab handle. Then you've got a nice big box stitch there, but then I'll show you on the inside in a moment, and you can see that the stitching goes through and there's extra reinforcement on the inside, which again, Tasmanian Tiger always seem to go that extra mile to make sure that it's tiny details like that you might miss, but it's tiny details like that if you were in a situation where one of your buddies needed to grab you and pull you out, then you've got that. Civilian use, it's not really needed, but this is a military style bag that's being used by the EDC community. So what you've also got is 1, 2, 3 bladder hoses. You can also use those for aerials as well if you are using this for military use, which I'll get onto when we have a look in the actual pack itself. And last little bit on the bottom here, oh, and a spoon that I used. You have an integrated rain cover which fits in there perfectly. The other thing that you get, which I kind of get, but I don't get that it's in here. Maybe this is one of the things, and I'm spoiling it again, this is maybe one of the things that I'd change. So you've got your grab handle on your top, you've got these 2 bits here, and then there's an extra grab handle on the bottom. But the grab handle itself is stashed away where you keep your waterproof. Now, I'm sure there probably is a reason for that. Maybe you could use that if you'd got a rifle that you could put the rifle through and it would then hang down. There might be other uses for it. I don't quite get it, but you know, I'm just the Moorlander, I didn't design the bag. Yeah, okay, now on to into the middle bits. To get into the middle bits, you need to release the compression straps. Now, that fly nearly flew into my brain! Yeah, you need to release the compression straps. Some people like that, some people don't. Personally, I like it because it limits the amount of stuff that falls out of your bag. So, if I unzip this, YKK zips, nice big, fat, well, reasonably large ones here, and it's got some paracord on there. You can pull this down. Now this is an extra bit, so I put this in quickly just so that you can see how it works, but this is the tack pouch 10, which fits perfectly in there. So if you've got one of these already, or you have one of these wider style ones, it will fit in, because on the back you have 2 rows of molly that you can add extra stuff into. Maybe if you've got 2 smaller packs, you can put them next to each other. You know, the world's your oyster. On the back, now the way that I do this is, so I'm going to call this the front and I'm going to call this the back. So on the back of this main section you have another large dump pouch. You can fit extra kit in there, you can fit boots in there. For civilian use you can easily fit a 15-inch laptop in there. You can also fit in up to a 17-inch laptop. When we have a look in the back section, there's another one which is large as well. But then on the front you have 2 very generously sized pockets. So you can see these both zip open. They're mesh, which is great because you can see what kit's in there. Extra point, because you know I like this sort of stuff, is it's all lined. So anything, because you've got the laser cut molly on the front, it's not directly stitched into this. And then between here and that bit, you've then got this pocket, and you've also got this pocket. So that's 3 layers of extra material before you then even get to this. And you know how I like my lining. So massive pat on the back, I love that. If we look at the stitching, you know I always like my stitching as well. You go through this stitching, everything is absolutely perfect. The people that stitch this stuff are, well, I'm not big on stitching, but I like my stitching, and the way this is stitched, I know what I like, and it's white, white, white. That was an old bread commercial, by the way. It's nothing weird. And then on the inside, so you've got a point here where you can hang stuff from. If you've got a bladder that you can put in there, you can stash that into there, and then you have a bit that you can put it out. Now these, I call it gated, like a kissing gate that you'd have, or a style. Ow, 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 something bit me. So as it goes through here, it has to then turn and then go back again. So if you're worried about water getting in here when it's raining, it has to make that zigzag through the chicane before it even thinks to start getting in there. So that's the front section. And then the larger section, which is at the back here. Now the zips on this are these huge YKK zips. I'll get a close-up of these, but these are beefy. I was going to swear then. That's where you'd put the beefy AF. And yeah, they're massive. They're awesome, and you get the paracord on there as well. So if you want to grab it, you can pull it down. Because these are YKK zippers as well, if you leave it at the top, poke your fingers in there, pull it down, it just comes open perfectly. No snags, nothing whatsoever. So in the, again, so this is the back, this is the front. So in the front we then have another large stash pocket there, and then there is a second zip pocket that, you know, it's the width of the entire bag and goes down about 9 inches. I'll do some more close-ups of these as well for you. Then inside the bag, let's pop this over. Okay, that worked when it wasn't hanging. You have Tasmanian Tiger's Modular System. So you have, this is all hook and loop. So if it is that there's some fell over sorry about that. If you've got something that's hook and loop and you want to put it in there, I suppose if you got CCW and you wanted to put it into something like this, you could do it in such a way that your zips were on the side. You used the compression straps so that you'd always got a defined area to go in, grab your CCW, pull it out, do what you need to do, then that's there. But mainly it's for the Tasmanian Tiger Moorlander system, so the Modular System. Tasmanian Tiger's Modular System. So they've got lots of different pouches with hook and loop on the back, and then you can put these into there so that you can organise your kit. If it is that you don't have that, then you can see hopefully that this is all laser cut so that you can put your own one in there. In the back here, there is a back brace system, which is a polycarbonate plastic style thing that curves to your back. It's completely removable. Down the centre of that there's also a piece of aluminium that you can mould as well, so if you want to make sure that it fits your back, it fits your back perfectly. Again, getting back to my lining, all of this is perfect, really nice. All of the seams around the sides as well, they're not taped seams, but they all have reinforcing on there with this nice bit of lining, and then on the inside you get that same really nice stitching. You've also got, last little couple things in here, you have a bladder hole, so if you've got another one in here, you've got a hook and loop at the top that you can put the bladder into. That comes out of the top, or if you want to use this for communications equipment, then you can put your aerial out of the top as well. The last little thing in here, which I think is a great idea, and it's a shame, nope, I'll save that for in a minute. You have, so if you've got an Nalgene style kind of, you know, it's a litre 32 ounce bottle, there is there's a elasticated section that you can put it into in there. Super convenient, put it in there, and that way you've not got anything on the outside that might come out. So the last little bit to look at now is the suspension system. Now the suspension system on this it's an absolute dream to carry. So in the time that it took in between testing it out before I started on the 10 and 10, I'd managed to get myself the perfect setup. It's not one of those packs where you can raise things and lower things and change your lumbar support, that sort of stuff. It's just not one of those style packs. But, and this is the best thing, it helps you out so much because, and I mean, I'm just inventing the terminology for this, but sounds good when I invent it. This is a completely free system. So your webbing attachments to the bottom have a buckle, yes, a buckle that you, if you want fast release, you can click that and it comes off. Also, again, Tasmanian Tiger for the extra little bit of detail. So what covers the buckle is a large piece of elastic. So when you're clicking your buckles in and out, you don't get that click noise, and it works perfectly. It's whisper quiet. But then what you can also do is take the extra little bit of webbing and tuck it into there, so that you can stash that sort of stuff away. But what is also free is this top section. So instead of having like a yoke system that you have with certain types of packs, or you have it so that this is stitched directly onto the pack, if you wanted to, with this buckle here, you could completely take this off. Now what that means is, when you've got it on your back and you want it to sit just right, normally, because they're fixed at the top either with the yoke system or it's just stitched directly onto the backpack, when you're trying to get this so that it's the right length and it doesn't pinch and it sits just right, no matter what, the attachments is always going to be in the same position. So if you're taller or you're taller or shorter, got the wrong way around, depending on how you have it. If these need to be lengthened, all that's going to happen is that's going to stay at the same spot, and this is either going to come down or it's going to lift up. So if it is that you're tall, your chest sternum strap, I mean, I've got mine just right, and it sits just there, and I've let it out a little bit at the back. If you were to put this onto a taller person, the sternum strap goes roughly across the sternum, just above nipples. But a taller person, because they've got that extra length and these are longer, then that would ride up because it would be in the same position as it goes over the shoulders, and you'd need to adjust this and bring it down. But the way with this system is, and this is again Tasmanian tiger, extra little bit of details, it's great. You can lengthen that bit at the back. So by bringing that out a little bit, for a taller person, you can get it so that these straps sit exactly in the same position. Or a shorter person, if you want to, you can take them in all the way back. So again, it sits perfectly in the same position for everybody. And that's the bit for me. So you've not got, like I say, you've not got the lumbar support, you've not got the bit where you can lengthen it. But with a clever bit of thinking, what they've been able to do is they've been able to adjust exactly where these sit on you, depending on how you want it to fit. And after, I'm just trying to think, probably took me not long, maybe a couple of hours of testing. Went on a walk through the moorlands, moved it about a bit, made it longer, moved that bit up, made these bits shorter, found that I wanted to be a little bit shorter than that, okay, so I made these a little bit shorter, brought that in a little bit, and then again just a few little tweaks. I found that sweet spot, and the bottom of the pack fits perfectly into the small of my back. The top of it fits perfectly and it rounds the shoulders, and these fit in, goes round on the underside of my armpits, across the chest. Absolutely amazing. So not to go into it too much more, it's just a brilliant system. Just takes a little bit of working out how exactly you want it, but when you've got it, it fits like a dream. So just some extra parts. So it is a bit of a webbing overload. These are the parts for the actual suspension system, but then you've also got two extra bits which are for the actual pack itself. So when I pull on these, it brings the pack in closer to me, so that whilst walking, some of the footage that I'll put on here, you'll see scrambling, that sort of stuff, trying to climb mountains and keep it close to your pack, keep the pack close to you. It's all there. On the waist wise, you have a really nice large 2-inch waist belt, and then on each of these you have zipped sections that you can put things like keys in, because you need to keep your keys somewhere. It's a great pack. Oh, some extra little points. The waist packs, the waist straps, these do come off. Tasmanian Tiger have done it a little bit differently than other people. Usually you'd have a battle belt style molle belt that would go through there, but instead these are actually two separate straps. So you put them in, and there's Velcro on the front and on the back. It's a bit of a chore to get them in and out, but when they're in and out, they're super secure. And then on the back here, you've also got there's an open section in the back. So if you wanted to stash these away, you could unbuckle them at the bottom, slide them in, and they can go all the way down. Also, if you wanted to keep a third hydration pack, then there's extra room in here, and a part that you can put that onto as well. I suppose the last little bit really is the padding in the back. So you have really nice kind of 2 or 3 centimeter padding. The padding's great. I found that whilst I was walking with it, the padding got soaked straight away. Anyone that says we've got the most aerated back system, okay, it's going to get wet because you're going to sweat no matter what. I don't believe anyone. And this system is very good. It gets wet, but it dries up very quickly. You've got a section through the middle here that does give your spine that extra little bit of room for freedom for moving around. Now, as far as changes are concerned, I think this pack is very good. Tasmanian Tiger, as I've said lots of times, they really do think about the things that you need or even the things that you don't realise that you need. So they've put a lot of thought already into this, so the changes that I'd make to it are only very slight, and it's probably me being a little bit nitpicky and Norman thinking I want to get in the way of this shot. So if you want to just stand right there, oh no, you might have to, you're such a big fatty. Things that I'd change. First one, and again, I can probably see why Tasmanian Tiger did this. It would be awesome if there was a rain lip over this section, over this zip. I can see probably why they didn't do it, because, what are you ferreting at? Because you'd have to then unzip it, get stuff in, and then round it where you've got this lip here, because I've seen it on other styles of packs where, nothing in there for you matey, where they try to do that sort of thing, and it just makes it tough to get into. So I'm sure that was probably already looked at, and that's why the decision was made. The second one is with this water bottle compartment here. So as you can see, as I mentioned before, there's one and it's perfectly on that side. For the extra little bit of material and stitching not to have it on this side, it's a real shame that that's not there. Tiny daft little thing for me, but it would have been awesome if that was there. And that's it. That's me nitpicking, and it's stupid for me. Little, oh yeah, I forgot this bit on the bottom is I don't get it. Like I say, might be there for a rifle so that you can put these over, maybe, but yeah, I think it would have been different if something had been done like that, or why this is being used. Oh yes, yeah, last little bit is, and again, this is just a weird little thing that I came across. So one of my other videos, look there, I had the Tasmanian Tiger Essential Pack, and I looked at how I could strap that to this. So the way that I did it was with these buckles on the side, instead of having them, keep doing that. Instead of having them here like this, what I did was I took these out and then strapped the other bag to this. But what you've got is all of these that are on the side here are all female buckles. So if it is that you had something on the front that then say you wanted to compress on, so you were carrying a rifle and you thought, I'll hold these in these bits here so that it will stay. Come on, Stinky. You can't do that because these don't interchange. Whereas if you did, so you swapped these round on this side, so you had female male, but instead of female male here you had male female here, then you'd be able to click these together if you needed to. Again, it's just a little thing, civilian use. When I've got my tripod, to be able to have that on there, it's perfect. But you know, you can put it on the side instead. This was mainly to think of a solution of how I can fix something onto the front of it. Other than that, it really is a great little pack. I say little, it's a 37 litre pack. It's massive. You can fit a lot of stuff in here. Brilliant. Well, thanks for watching, and Norman says thank you as well. Go on, go chase some squirrels. Bring us some tea. Provide for the family hound. Where was I? No, I've already done the shoot. Silly Billy. I know. Awesome pack. Definitely recommended. Really thankful for all of the support that I've had with these products. Don't forget, because you're part of the EDC crew, if you use the code MOREDC, I'll put it across here now, when you go to tasmaniantiger.co.uk, you can receive 10% discount off everything in your checkout. That's everything in your checkout. How do you like those apples? Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. Actually, yeah, thumbs up, hit the thumbs up now. Put whatever you're doing, well, I know what you're doing, you're watching me, but do the thumbs up thing. Yeah! If I get 1,000 thumbs up, I'll be really happy. Check me out on Instagram. I'm on Instagram a hell of a lot more than I'm on Facebook. Whatever I put on Instagram just gets copied and put onto Facebook. So check me out on Instagram. I'm at the point where I'm getting close to 500 subscribers. When I hit 500 subscribers, I'm going to do a little giveaway and give back to my community. Cool, hope you liked the video. There's more to come, a hell of a lot more to come. I've got a lot of videos to get through. Cool, stay safe, stay Moorlander, stay EDC.